It's my silly producer.
Okay, welcome to our press conference for this week's game against North Carolina, which will have a 7:02 kickoff to be televised by ESPNU. The NC State game will be a 3:30 kick on ESPNU. October 1st, we're going to have our media golf outing for the basketball program. That'll be at Kiwi Springs this year, and Philip Sykes and Sydney will finish on that later on today. And I want to thank Jersey Mike's from Clemson for providing our lunch for today.
Okay, thanks, Tim. Well, first of all, just excited about getting back in the Valley. Night game here at Death Valley. That's something that we really treasure, those opportunities, and been able to have one home game so far this year, and I know our team is excited about spending a little bit of time here at home, and so that I'm excited about. Not excited about being 1-2 right now, but I will say that I'm very proud of the improvement of our team. Record doesn't necessarily reflect the improvement of our team, but we have greatly improved from the start of the season, and I'm encouraged by that. And and I'm thankful that they don't cancel the season in September. We got a long way to go, and I think we got a chance to have a really, really heck of a football team. I think we are a heck of a football team, and I think that if we'll continue to stay committed to the things that we believe in, that we'll be just fine. But we got another tough challenge this week, and the only thing worse than being 1-2 is being 1-3. So we got North Carolina, and North Carolina is a dangerous football team. They're 2-1. They're coming off of a very difficult loss, just like we're coming off of a difficult loss, different circumstances or whatever. And I know you may look at the score and say, well, goodness gracious, but football. In the game of football, crazy things happen. It's a turnover, it's a pick six, and next thing you know, things kind of get out of hand. But this is a really good football team we're getting ready to play in North Carolina, and we're going to have to play very well. And the biggest thing for us is finish. Offensively, looking at them, they're the fastest team we've played without question. As far as their tempo and how fast they want to snap the football, they are extremely fast. So we've got to do a good job of preparing for that. And obviously, we are a tempo team as well, but they're kind of a notch above us. They score a lot of points, and they've been very consistent in doing that since Coach Fedor's been there. They're big up front. They play two quarterbacks, and they just doesn't really seem to be really any rhyme or reason on why they play two. As far as when they play them, they just play them. So I think they have a ton of confidence in both of those guys. Maybe a little bit more zone read type of stuff with number 12, but both guys are capable of executing what they do offensively. They got three running backs that they just kind of roll in there and play. All of them, really hard runners, understand their scheme and how to run the zone and the stretch. And 34 is the freshman. He really looks like he's going to be a special player in time. But 8 and 21, their two veteran guys, very dangerous players. They've always had a good tight end up there. The Ebron kid last year, and now they got this number 80 that they involve quite a bit. This is the biggest group of receivers we'll probably see. They're 6'3", 6'4", 6'4". They got one little guy in Switzer, and he's a jet. He just flies all over the field. So very, very impressed with their ability outside, to finish plays. They do a good job with their body control and positioning, high pointing balls, and winning some one-on-one matchups. So good group outside. And number 14, Quinshaw Davis, a local kid here. And, I know he'll be excited about coming home and playing the Tigers. Defensively, big up front, play a lot of guys. They've got some depth. They've got, 2 or 3 guys that we recruited that I'm very familiar with. Number 9 at linebacker was a guy we recruited hard here at Clemson. He's a very good player. Back in on the secondary, they've got some active guys. 28's got 3 interceptions already. They're leading our league in turnovers. I think they're 12th in the nation in turnovers, and that's something that I think that, if you just point to one thing, that's what they've done the best so far in these 3 ball games is create turnovers. And obviously that is a huge factor in them being 2-1 right now. But special teams, this is the most dangerous group we've played in a while. These guys are very, very good at creating big plays in the kicking game from a return standpoint. I mean, they've returned kickoffs. They've had some last-second punt returns. I mean, they really do a good job, in that area. So they've got good people. Number 8 and number 3, the Switzer kid, he's as good as we're going to see. They take some chances. If that number 3, if he gets that much, he's going to try to go with it. And so we've got to do a great job in containing those guys. But again, good football team, and excited to be back in the Valley, and really proud of our team and how they responded to obviously a very difficult loss. It's every indicator that we have that says we're supposed to win, we hit and we lost. So it's a hard thing to kind of walk into the office and deal with. But at the same time, that's why football is such a great game for young people to be involved in, because it teaches you, so many things. And we'll pick ourselves up and press on and see if we can play ourselves back into the mix. With that, I'll take your questions.
Coach, why is now the right time to start Deshaun Watson?
Did you watch the game Saturday?
I did. I'm asking you. I did.
Okay. Well, that's why. That's why.
2 weeks ago, you were in here talking about Cole's done everything right, but I'm saying, why is it now Deshaun?
Because we've had 3 games of evaluation in Saturday night. What I saw Saturday night. That's why.
How did your kicking game look yesterday, and what's going on there right now?
Well, the kicking game, that's one of the areas that we were very solid in a lot of the things that we wanted to try to get accomplished going into the game the other night. We didn't want to give them big returns and things like that. And I think coverage-wise, we did a much better job. We did a really good job of punting the ball. Pinion had one bad punt that cost us, but we were able to rally and recover from that. But man, he had some big punts that created great field position. The biggest problem was the field goals. We just not getting the production there in 2 games on the road. We were very good at home in the 1 game, but in the 2 games on the road, we just haven't gotten the performance, and that's been a difference maker. I mean, that's just the way it is. We've been working hard on that and kind of just going back and challenging. Ammon is he's the most talented guy as far as where we are today, but it has not translated yet to the game. And I know it's everybody says it's an easy thing to do, but until you've been out there in front of 80-something thousand and millions watching on TV, it's quick to judge a young person. So it's just mental. And we've got to get him through that, or somebody else has to have an opportunity. And so we're going to really stress it, all week long and open up the competition. We're going to give Pinion a chance to compete, and he had a good day yesterday. And Alex Spence, Alex, I was very impressed with yesterday. He wasn't mentally ready in the fall camp. He wasn't really physically or mentally ready. This is a very, very talented. We signed Alex Spence, and we felt like he was the best guy out there, and I'm really excited about him. But he was a little overwhelmed when he got here, and when mentally you're not quite where you need to be, it affects you physically too. And he's kind of been on the shelf now for a while, and kind of threw him out there yesterday, and all of a sudden he looked like that guy that I saw in high school. A little different mentality to him, and so we'll just kind of let it play out. And I still have all the confidence in the world in Ammon because I've seen it. I see him every day, and he is, He is so talented, I hate to bring up Cat, but it's kind of like I'm reliving that all over again. And I said the same thing about Cat. You know, I mean, everybody was. In fact, that's why we signed Ammon, because we were so bad that year, and I had to address it. You know, it was all year long, and I had to go sign a kicker, and so we went and signed Ammon, and what did Cat do? Well, he just refused to let the job go, and he got better. And so, you know, I'm hopeful that the same thing will happen with Lacob, but you know, he's got to go do it. And so that's where we are on the kicking game. I was pleased with a lot of things that we did in the game. We didn't really get any return opportunities. We did a poor job on the one kick return. They did a good job. They had not kicked it into that corner at all, and so we did not make the adjustment during the kick that we needed to on that one particular one. But we had a couple of them that we had it up really, really good, but they were kicked out of the end zone. So, you know, we evaluate all that stuff, and then from a punt return standpoint, Adam did an excellent job. He made all the right decisions. We held up well with the exception of one time. So I thought we improved in those areas with what we had to evaluate on tape. The biggest miscue for us was just the field goal part.
Coach, certainly there are benchmarks that you set for each game. For Deshaun Watson coming into the UNC game, where do you want to see him, and where do you want to see him after the game?
Well, I just want to see him continue to improve and play consistent, take care of the ball. I mean, what he did the other night was just amazing. It really was. I mean, this is a freshman, and he took care of the ball in that environment. He checked the ball down. He made some big-time throws. He made some plays with his legs. He just very poised. So just continue to stay within himself and you know, take care of the ball. That's what we need from that position. We don't need to put our defense in bad situations. We need to take care of the ball and get first downs. And you know, it's okay to punt the ball. You know, let's get that first 10 yards and let's kind of move it out. I think we've got a team that's going to be difficult to consistently move the ball against from a defensive standpoint. So having a guy at that position that's you know, really managing the game is critical. And so I want to see him grow in that area. And he made some mistakes. He had 3 MAs in the game, and those are things that, you know, we can't we can't have. So cutting down that part of it. And you're going to see Cole. You know, Cole. And let me say this, man. I tell you what, Cole is a man's man. And you talk about a difficult situation for a young person to have to deal with. But he's as class as they come. He's obviously disappointed, doesn't like it, but he's a great leader for us. And, you know, great leader for our team yesterday and how he responded in meetings. And we're going to need Cole Stout. We're going to need him. And the message to him is, okay, well, you know, we got a long season. And Deshaun has to, now he's getting an opportunity to start, but he's got to play well. And Cole's going to get an opportunity to play. And his job is to go in there and, you know, play well enough for us to want to put him back in there. So